Okay, I'm trying to do this screen recording to kind of show this next part. This is our kind of an introduction to our Desmos project, and it's just really hopefully getting you all familiar with using Desmos. So on the left here, I have our Desmos Day 1 worksheet, and then on the right, I have Desmos pulled up, okay? I think it's kind of nice to do the split screen. If you have multiple devices you can use, you can also do that too, and just kind of type away on a computer, use your phone, that type of stuff. First thing I'm going to do with Desmos is I'm going to click this wrench up on the top right. Click that wrench up there. And then see where it says projector mode. I just like putting on projector mode. It makes things kind of bolded a little bit more. Also want to point out some things here quick. See if I zoom. Maybe it's better if I show a graph quick. So I'm graphing here, and if I zoom and grab stuff and move stuff around and it's kind of looking all weird, I mean, it's looking very, very odd. It's not just like it is, and all these numbers are weird. You can hit that home button and it'll bring you back to normal. Okay, so I'm just kind of showing Desmos. On the left here, we're always starting with this parent function, so I kind of give you what to start with. So I'm going to start by plugging that in. Y equals x squared. If you don't include the y, it's okay. For this one, for this Desmos Day 1 stuff, it's okay if you don't include that. Also want to point out here on the right, on Desmos, if you click and hold that blue on the left here, if you click and hold it, you can change to dotted, dashed, you can change colors. I'm going to make it red just because that's what it is on the paper, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so this is what I'm starting with. That's y equals x squared. But I need to change it. We need to transform it to make it so they look like this, right? I have two of them also, right? Well, I'm going to do one of them first. And I'm actually just going to stick with this one right here, this one on the right. So the first thing I notice is it's upside down. So then I can kind of play around with my graph over here. How do I make it go upside down? Oh, that's right. That's a reflection over the x-axis, which is a negative on the outside. Check that out. Yeah, I am going to zoom in a little bit just because there's the 5. 5 here, there's the 5 there. Okay, so it's kind of zoomed in, kind of can see where it's at. Now, when I look at this top point, right, let me get there, right here, that top point, I can see it right there at 0, 0, right? So I want to make that point move to the right 2, because it's like starting right here. 1, 2 to the right, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know up 5, I can just do plus 5. There we go. I remember that. Plusing or subtracting on the outside or inside. For the right and left movement, I need to do parentheses around this x. I want it to go to the right by 2, so I'm like, okay, go plus 2. Oh, no, that moved it to the left by 2. Plus 2 makes it go to the left. Oh, that's right, because to go to the right, I got to do minus 2. There it is. So for equation 1, I'm going to write y equals negative x minus 2 squared plus 5. That's this equation here that I have typed in on the right. Okay, not quite done yet, though. We need another one. So again, I'm starting with y equals x squared. Oh, that's right, I needed to flip it upside down. There it is. And I'm going to do parentheses around it here. Okay. But now I want this point to go to the left by 1. Goes left 1, and then up 5. Okay, so left 1 would be plus 1, and then up 5 is plus 5. There it is. Okay, if I kind of looks just like what I have on the right. So this other equation is y equals negative x plus 1 squared plus 5. Just like that. Okay. Now, to get rid of your graphs on Desmos, you can either click. If you click on those lines, it'll just remove them. You keep your equations there, but it'll remove the lines on there, or you can just totally X them out. There's really no reason that we need them back. Okay, so we're just kind of playing around with this stuff. So here on this next one, I have two different types of parent functions. I have x squared and then absolute value of x. Okay, I'm gonna kind of zoom on this so I can kind of see. Now, and I'm gonna apologize here because see how this is a 2 right there, right? So that would be a 1, 3, 5. So it kind of goes up by 0.5s. Okay, so just be aware of that. I think I should have fixed that, but just be aware of what it's going up by. So you can see this 8 up here. That'll be an important number. And then down here is just 0. Okay, so let's start with the x squared again. Y equals x squared. And sometimes I just like to include the parentheses. It helps the left and right movement just be a little bit better. Okay, and I know I have to flip one of them like that because this one here is upside down and it goes up 8. Okay, now it's looking to me that the one on the paper is a little bit wider, right? It's a little bit wider. And I'm just gonna leave the one on Desmos for now, but I have to go back to it. Okay, I can do the bottom part, y equals x parentheses x squared. Okay, I can do the bottom part, and it's like, okay, I can kind of see that. See that point there, -2, 4? -2, 4 is right here. Okay, so it very clearly is a little bit wider on my graph. So I'll fix those. I'll fix these two later on, but I just want to get to the absolute value now. So if I go y equals absolute value is right above that ABC. Absolute value of x, and close it. Okay, there's my v. I think I'll just kind of keep it like that. I'm going to do another one, y equals, I know it has to be flipped. So I do a negative in front of it. But then, oh, that's right, I got to go up 8, plus 8. There we go. -4, 4. That's the point right, do it in black, right here. Even if we look over here, those are these 2 points. Okay, so that's good. I can see those two. Those two are good. But now, again, it's these x squareds that I have to change. And there's a lot of different ways to kind of look at making it wider. And it's just kind of play around with it. So I know to make it wider, that's horizontal. It should be on the inside. Okay, so if I do a 2, ooh, no, that made it skinnier. 5, oh, that was really skinny. What if I did 0.5? Oh, okay. That 0.5 made it wider. That 0.5 is the same as doing 1/2, like that. Remember that 1/2 on the inside is horizontal stretch. I should do the same with this one. 1/2. I'm just doing 1 divided by 2. Now we can see those points where it lines up. Again, it's just playing around with things. Maybe you do like to just do decimals. Just like to do decimals, do 0.5. So I'm going to write down all these equations now. And maybe on your sheet here you can label it as like 1 is that top one. So that would be -1/2 x squared plus 8. Okay, 2 maybe is this bottom one here. And that's just 1/2 times x squared. Okay. 3 is this other bottom one, but it's the absolute value, and it's just absolute value of x. Nothing's changed there. And the last one is that upside down v right here. That's the 4th one there. Okay, so I'll kind of let you get those down again. Oops. And again, it's just kind of playing around with Desmos. You might be sitting there a while just plugging in numbers and struggling to get it, and that's okay, but it's just kind of playing around, seeing what you realize what's happening as you change numbers around. Okay, I'll kind of help you, I think, with this next one here. I'll just kind of help you set it up. So again, I'm going to close these out, just X them out, get rid of them. Does that work? Yeah, that kind of gives me a bigger screen, but I'll do the half and half. Okay, this is a new function here. This actually gets us, well, let's see, y equals square root 1 minus, and I like doing parentheses like that. Check that out. Gives me a little half circle. Okay, that's exactly what these are up top there. Okay, see how the middle of the circle here is at 0, 0. The middle of the circles here are at 10, 10. So, I need to move it to the right 10, which would be minus 10 on the inside. Where is it? There it is. Moved it to the right 10 and then up 10. Plus 10. Right there. Now I'm going to show you a little trick, because that's only this top part right here, right? It's just the top. To get the bottom, I just need to flip it. So here I'm going to click this settings wheel right at the top. Click that settings wheel, and there's this little, that middle button there is a copy. I just copied it. Okay. So just copy that whole thing, but what I want to do is I want to flip it. So I need to do a negative out front. You see how that works? When I did that negative, I copied it, but it keeps the top one as well. So I want to keep the top one, and instead of having to plug the whole thing in, I can just copy and paste it. Now I want to show, like, see this 1? That's the smaller circle here. To make a bigger circle, I can just change that 1 to like a 2 or a 4 or a 25. Okay, it's kind of making them bigger and bigger. I think this one should be a 4. But again, I don't want to change it. I want another couple of copies of it. So I'm going to copy both of them. So see how now I have a negative. And you can actually drag these around because you're like, I want those 2 green ones to be together. I'm going to change these colors to be black to kind of show the difference. But I want it to be a 4 and a 4, because you can see that outside one then is a little bit wider. That's kind of all I wanted to show you for the circles. For the other one down here, it's just y equals, to do sine, just go to ABC and do sin of x. And there's your little squiggly line there. Kind of see. Oops. Okay, so that's kind of it. Just like I said, it's playing around with this stuff. If you want, I mean, I'm going to have these solutions posted, so you can always double check your work, or you can, or really if you just copy it down and plug these in, but just be aware of what each thing is doing. When you type in that +2, what is that doing to your graph? Okay, so I'm okay if you copy, but at least just be aware of what it's doing as you're changing it. Maybe try it, kind of play around with it, and maybe peek at one of them and see the difference, see what it does. Okay, as always, reach out if you need any help with this, if you want to kind of work on these together. This cool smiley face is just working with that circle equation a bunch over and over and over again. Remember, to make it wider, you're just changing that 1 to be a little bit bigger. Okay, maybe try 4, 25, 100. Okay, kind of taking a look at that.